Ah, fresh squeezed orange juice. There's nothing quite like it. And here at Balducci's, we have some of the very best. Did you know that it makes it from the trees to our shelves in as little as 72 hours? Well, we took a trip down to Fort Pierce, Florida, to the Orchid Island Juice Company to see this miraculous process for ourselves, taking in a little pulp fiction along the way. Fort Pierce, Florida, where the Indian River meets the Atlantic Ocean. It's a major center for the citrus industry and home to the Orchid Island Juice Company, which makes Balducci's fresh squeezed orange and grapefruit juice.
Good morning. My name is Frank Martinelli. I work for Mary Grace Sexton, who's the CEO of Orchid Island Juice Company. Orchid Island Juice Company is the nation's finest fresh squeezed orange and grapefruit juice provider, and we are delighted to have the privilege of producing Balducci's fresh squeezed orange and grapefruit juice. We're going to take you on a little tour of our facility, and we'd love for you to join along. Let's go. Orchid Island Juice Company has under its control 22,000 acres, and that primarily is because Mary Grace Sexton, the CEO, her Sexton family is a fifth-generation Florida citrus fruit grower. We're located south of Cape Canaveral, north of Palm Beach, in an area that is recognized throughout the world as producing the finest quality citrus fruits available. There's over 15 varieties of Florida oranges. We use predominantly 3 to make the finest fresh squeezed orange juice available anywhere. We start out early in the season in the September timeframe with Hamlins. As you progress through, as soon as pineapple oranges are available, you start blending your mature Hamlins with the pineapples that are available, and you do a transition into pineapples. You'll stay in pineapples for a couple months, maybe 3 months, but as soon as Valencias are passing maturity tests, you start a pineapple Valencia blend, and then you stay in Valencias for the remainder of the year. Well, here's harvesting in action. You have a team of harvesters that arrive early in the morning to start harvesting the fruit, and you can see they'll climb in ladders up into the tree, pick all the fruit in a bag, and then they'll come down in their bag. They release it, and the bottom of the bag opens up so that it goes into a bin. After it goes into the bin, after they have the bin full, then there'll be a foreman that comes around in a goat. That's what they call this vehicle here, and he'll, with the boom on his goat, he'll pick up the bins, dump it into the big receptacle in the back of the goat, and then it's an amazing thing to watch. But after the goat's receptacle is filled up, he'll come out adjacent to a cannery trailer. He'll lift up that bed on the goat, and he'll pour the fruit into the cannery trailer, and then the cannery trailer will be delivered to the juice company for processing. Sir, how large is your crew? 15 people? 15 people. I would say that's a typical size crew, isn't it? Yeah, typical size crew, 15, and they'll pick, will you get a couple trailers in a day? Sometimes, depending on the harvesting conditions, and of course with the hurricane damage, it's harder harvesting this year, but a crew of 15 can do a couple trailers in a day.
Later that same day, just a few hours after the fruits have been picked, the trailer arrives at the Orchid Island facilities to be weighed and examined. Once the fruit has made it into Orchid Island's plant, it goes through a careful series of processes to ensure that only the cleanest, safest, best-tasting product emerges.
Every trailer is examined before we start squeezing any of the fruit. It's examined not only for the physical properties of the oranges or grapefruit or tangerines in season, but it's also examined to ensure that all the fruit is wholesome, tree-picked fruit. It's quite easy for somebody who's in the fresh juice industry to identify a piece of fruit that didn't come from a tree, that came from the ground. And at Orchid Island Juice Company, we reserve the right, and we exercise the right, to pick a trailer that contains 100,000 pieces of fruit because there is one dropped piece of fruit in the trailer.
the industry's only double-stacked brush washer. This was a modification we did when the FAA mandated that fresh juice companies be able to prove that their operations are absolutely sanitary. It's a mechanical work of art, and I give that credit to my brother Bill, who built it. When you're making fresh squeezed orange juice and grapefruit juice, the very most important part of your production process is the grading. They touch every piece of fruit that goes by in front of them. And on a typical day, we'll have 1 million plus pieces of fruit that we will use in the production of fresh squeezed orange and grapefruit juice. I assure you, at any other juice facility, you would not see the number of graders that we have or the grading intensity that is part of the Orchid Island Juice Company culture.
Another part of the company culture is a fanatical dedication to developing clean, healthy products. Unlike mass producers who pasteurize and store their juice, which results in a significant loss of flavor, Orchid Island produces only fresh squeezed juice for Balducci's. That's why they test their tanks and fillers and pull samples out of every lot of juice to test for potential contaminants.
We're in Orchid Island Juice Company's Microbiological Research and Development Lab. It's here where we do the tests that help us continuously refine our process so that we can constantly maintain the quality margin that permits us to be recognized as the finest provider of fresh squeezed citrus juices in the United States.
It permits you to have fresh, wonderful tasting fresh squeezed juice all the way up to date code and beyond. The real test of a fresh squeezed juice is not how it tastes the day you make it or 2 days later. The real test of a fresh squeezed juice is how it tastes 2 weeks later.
Orchid Island Juice Company does not inventory our freshly squeezed orange and grapefruit juice. Fresh squeezed orange and grapefruit juice has a 17-day shelf life. Now, our commitment to the customers is we are a direct run facility and our product is made to order. Our customers order it the day before we squeeze it.
But squeezing juice to order is not an easy business, especially when Mother Nature intrudes.
In August and September 2004, Florida experienced 3 devastating hurricanes to the citrus industry. We had lost 75% of our grapefruit crop and over 30% of our orange crop. Orchid Island Juice Company, being a family-owned and operated business, and 5th-generation citrus growers, have the resources to secure the best fruit to ensure and guarantee our customers that we will have the fruit necessary to meet all of our customers' needs.
One thing that helped the company survive the hurricanes was an innovative facility in which they temporarily store a lot of fresh-picked fruit.
This is Orchid Island Juice Company's dedicated cold storage facility. It's one of the things that gives us a competitive advantage in that we can take fruit in when it's at its prime maturity and we can cold store it through the several months of the year when fruit isn't available from Florida from the field. This fruit was picked at the end of February, and here we are at the end of March. And if you look at it, it's wholesome, firm, intact, and you can't tell this apart from some field-run fruit that you would take in right now.
Back in the main facility, the fruit works its way through the grading process over to the extractors, which squeeze the juice out and pipe it over to the bottling operation. Within minutes, the bottles are sealed, packed, and placed on trucks. This is a very precise and carefully controlled process that is amazing to watch. Every step of the way, the cold chain is maintained to ensure that the juice remains at peak flavor.
When customers such as Balducci's orders fresh squeezed orange juice from Orchid Island Juice Company, they do that the business day before we squeeze. That day, we pick the fruit for the orders. And it's within less than 24 hours of picking to squeezing, as you see behind me. And within 2 to 3 days, it'll be up in Maryland and in New York at a Balducci store.
Hello, I'm Mary Grace Sexton. Bobby, my husband, and I started this company with the desire to produce the best tasting, highest quality, 100% fresh squeezed citrus juices in the world. Natalie's Orchid Island Juice Company was named after our eldest daughter. On behalf of all the family here, welcome inside the great taste of Orchid Island Juice Company. Thank you for your business.